All right, let's dive right into this explainer and untangle what is honestly one of the ultimate traps of modern productivity. We're talking about confusing busyness with actual progress. Have you ever just stopped for a second to think about whether the work you're doing is actually moving the needle? Or are you maybe just spinning your wheels really, really fast? Today, we're breaking down some fascinating source material that highlights the massive, critical difference between being effective and being efficient. Let me ask you this directly and be honest. Do you ever feel like you're doing literally a million things in a single day, just completely checking off this massive to-do list, but at the end of the day, you're getting absolutely nowhere closer to your major goals? It's a deeply frustrating feeling, right? We live in this world that is just completely obsessed with doing things faster. But, as we'll see, there's a fundamental flaw in that mindset. So, to solve that frustration, we have to make a crucial distinction. Effectiveness is simply doing the right things. It's entirely about achieving the desired result. Did it work? Did you actually reach the goal? Efficiency, on the other hand, is doing things right. This one is all about minimizing waste, optimizing your speed, and conserving your energy. They sound super similar, I know, but they are entirely different dimensions of performance. Think about it kind of like a grid with 4 possible combinations. The ultimate dream scenario is that you reach your goal quickly with very little waste. You're effective and efficient. But here is where the trap lies. You can use your resources perfectly, waste absolutely 0 time, but still completely fail to achieve your goal. You are, technically speaking, highly efficient at the completely wrong thing. And man, that is a trap so many organizations and individuals fall right into. The researchers use this absolutely brilliant metaphor to explain the dynamic, and I love this so much. Think of effectiveness as your compass. It shows you the correct direction to travel. Efficiency, then, is your engine. It dictates exactly how quickly and smoothly you're actually moving. Now think about what happens when you separate those two elements. Things just start to break down. Imagine driving a car with a massive, perfectly tuned rocket engine, but your compass is completely broken and you're heading south instead of north. Your raw speed actually becomes dangerous, right? Because you are just getting further away from your destination faster. Conversely, if you have a highly reliable compass but a terrible engine, your progress is just painstakingly slow. But when you couple a clear compass with a strong engine, your progress becomes incredibly powerful. Let's bring this to life with a classic analogy. Picture archery. If you shoot your arrows and they hit the bullseye, congratulations, you are effective. You got the intended result. But what if you could hit that exact same bullseye using fewer arrows, drawing your bow with way less expended energy, and doing the whole thing in half the time? That is layering efficiency squarely on top of your effectiveness. Efficiency is about the economy of the process, sure, but you know what? That arrow still has to hit the target first. Which brings us to a major red flag, perfectly summarized by this idea. There is very little value in doing efficiently what should not be done at all. Think about some modern company that automates all of its paperwork, they slash their operational costs, and they manufacture their items at lightning speed. Well, if they're producing a product that absolutely nobody wants to buy, that business is still going to fail. They mastered the operations, but they totally failed in their actual purpose. Actually, pursuing extreme efficiency without the underlying wisdom of effectiveness can become actively harmful. When you try to optimize every single minute of your day and squeeze every last drop of productivity out of a system, you start stripping away the slack. And that slack is what allows for human connection and creativity. The source material notes that this kind of hyper-optimization leads directly to burnout and completely removes the flexibility you need to adapt to new challenges. So efficiency without wisdom doesn't just miss the mark. It can actively destroy morale and stifle innovation. Let's look at a real-world example we've all probably experienced. Restaurants. Think about Restaurant A. They serve mind-blowing food, but the kitchen is in utter chaos and it takes forever. They are effective because they're delivering a great core product, but they are highly inefficient. Now look at Restaurant B. Lightning fast service, highly optimized table turns, absolutely 0 wait time. But the food tastes like wet cardboard. They are incredibly efficient at delivering a terrible experience. So they are fundamentally ineffective overall. And then you have the holy grail, Restaurant C. Excellent food, fast service, and a highly organized kitchen. They've combined the compass of great culinary quality with the engine of operational optimization. This is what creates a truly strong, sustainable customer experience. It just brilliantly shows what happens when we prioritize effectiveness first and then build efficiency completely around it.
This applies literally everywhere. Let's look at studying and learning. An effective student is one who figures out exactly which topics actually matter most for the exam, and they focus their energy right there. They have the right compass. An efficient student, meanwhile, uses optimized schedules, summarized notes, speed reading, the whole shebang. But if an efficient student uses their speed reading to flawlessly memorize the entirely wrong chapters, they're still going to fail the test. The true goal is to learn what matters most first, and then use smart methods to learn it in less time with better retention.
Okay, now for a major pain point for so many of us, time management. Effective time management is simply choosing the right tasks to do in the first place. I mean, you can blast through 20 small emails, completely reorganize your digital files, and clear your desk in an hour. And honestly, that feels super productive, right? But if you ignored the one major strategic project you were actually supposed to finish today, that's just busy activity. It's not effectiveness. Being busy answering emails all day is a total illusion of progress if your major goals are getting ignored.
So how do we actually measure this stuff to make sure we're mastering both? Well, the metrics are entirely different. Effectiveness metrics are things like goal completion, customer satisfaction, and the actual real-world impact of your mission. You're basically asking, did it work? Efficiency metrics look at time used, financial cost, and output per input. Here, you're asking, was it optimized? You really need to track both sets of numbers in business. And honestly, you should be hyper-aware of both in your personal growth too.
All right, let's put this into practice. Here's a highly actionable two-step procedure to evaluate pretty much any action you take. Step 1. Always ask the effectiveness question first. Will this action truly achieve my goal? If the answer is no, stop immediately. Do not pass go. Don't try to do it faster, just stop. If the answer is yes, only then do you move to step 2, the efficiency question. Can this be done with less waste? And that is exactly when you optimize. This two-step rule actually reveals a much broader strategic hierarchy that the source emphasizes. At the very top, you absolutely must have the correct goal. Once you nail that, you develop the correct strategy to reach it. Only at the third level down do you worry about efficient execution, because efficiency operates completely inside of strategy. If your overarching goal is wrong, executing it perfectly still produces total failure. If you take away just one thing from this explainer, make it this overarching principle. It perfectly sums up why we absolutely need both for true excellence. Effectiveness determines value. Efficiency determines sustainability. Think about it. If you aren't effective, your effort is completely meaningless and provides zero value. But if you aren't efficient, your success is going to be incredibly difficult, costly, and just flat out exhausting to maintain over the long run. Which leaves us with this final thought. Take a hard look at your own daily routines, your work habits, your life goals. Do you actually know what matters? And are you pointing your compass directly at it? Or do you just know how to execute tasks really smoothly and keep your engine revving without a real destination? It might be time to audit your actions. Stop just being busy and start mastering both the compass and the engine. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it helps you navigate your own goals with a whole lot more clarity. See you next time.